My name is Callidora, and Indigo has asked me to make this video. I'm not very good at doing videos, but I'm not allowed to say that anymore because I shouldn't talk badly of myself, but I'm gonna try and do it anyway. Okay. So, this video is the March Patron appreciation video, and in this video we'll be appreciating March's patrons. Indigo has a Patreon account, and people can pledge and support her, and this video is a reward to those who help her on Patreon. And if you're interested, then you can go to the link in the description bar, and you can be a part of these videos. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of things. First, we're going to do a Q&A session, and you guys have sent in questions, and I feel like I forgot something. And that's much better. So, as I was saying, first we will have a Q&A session where you guys have sent in questions for, well, technically for Indigo, but I'll be answering them. And then secondly, we will have a Patreon shout out for certain patrons, and then we will do triggers, and you guys have voted for the triggers, and I will have to do them. And also you guys voted for me to do this video, so thank you. It's kind of embarrassing that you all like me so much, but it's really sweet, so thank you. Okay, so I think we should just get on with the questions. I have them all written down, so okay. Would you rather always have wing saws on your fingers or go blind for a few seconds every time someone says your name? Well, it would be pretty disgusting to have saws on my fingers the whole time, and I wouldn't be able to handle any ancient texts because they'd get all dirty and I'd get yelled at. So I would have to go with being blind for a few seconds, but I would have to ask though, because well, is it also nicknames? Because my name is Callidora, but that's not my birth name, unfortunately. So I always try to find loops like that. But yes, even so, going blind for a few seconds would be better. I mean, before, I would be practically blind without glasses, so okay. Is there any movie or game that you're looking forward to this year? I don't even know what is coming out this year. It's a piece of dust. So I don't know what's really coming out this year. I think the World of Warcraft movie. I think that would be fun. Maybe I do like fantasy, and I think there's also a new Mass Effect video game that's coming out this year, and the new World of Warcraft expansion, but I'm not sure. I'm not very good, and I don't have a lot of time to play video games nowadays, so okay. Where does your fascination with vampires come from? What do you mean? Oh, it's a video. Well, I don't know. For me, it's just kind of natural. I guess it's important to be, to a degree, fascinated with what you are, isn't it? Okay. So, what is your favorite Disney movie? My favorite is Mulan. I really like that one because it has dragons and things. And I really like the songs, and I like Mulan a lot, and I think it's really cool that she is so strong and she can fool everyone into thinking she's someone or something else. And she's really strong, and then at the end everyone sees that, and yeah. And also dragons. How long does it take Indigo to plan, record, and edit a standard video? Okay, so she actually told me this because sometimes I just gotta calm myself down because I get a little too excited sometimes. Anyway, how long does it take to plan, record, and edit a video? Planning can take a lot of time for Indigo. It kind of depends, but mostly she talks about it with friends. But a lot of times she gets inspired by things and she just has to make it right away. But planning can take from a few hours to weeks, depending on complexity. And preparing mostly takes at least half a day because you will have to get in costume and gather props and everything, and and then recording mostly takes about an hour after she has everything set up. Then editing can take another 2 hours or something. So I would say that making it once it's planned takes like a good 7 to 8 hours probably. Yeah. How far do you plan your stories, or do you let it grow organically? Well, so Indigo also told me this, but there is a certain degree of planning to the stories, but a lot of times they're kind of spur of the moment and just feels whatever just feels right, I guess. But some videos are planned, and in general she just have the like the general idea of a story in her head, and yeah. But I'm sorry, I'm not good at this. Okay. which character is the easiest to channel? Well, this one. Which character do you enjoy the most to become? Well, it's hard to say really, because with Indigo, all of her characters are essentially a part of her. None of them are really made up. It's like they're different parts of her personality and her being, and certain interests that she has that are embodied by a character, right? So it's hard really to say, but I mean, I know she really likes me, so that's good. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but I'm glad she does. So, I'm sorry, there was a loud noise outside, so I had to cut that out. But, and she also really likes channeling Celine, because Celine is very caring, and she loves showing that side. And she's also a bit sensual, I guess, but yeah. Celine is a sweetheart, though. She doesn't have it easy. She always gets picked on, even by Indigo, so. Okay. Has there ever been a video that has affected you in a way that you hadn't expected? Well, the very, very, very first vampire video that Indigo did, the Malkavian video, well, she had almost not put it up because she was, she thought it was a bit weird, and perhaps it was a little weird, but I guess weird can be good. So she really didn't expect that video to be so well perceived, and kind of spurred to this whole vampire thing she has going on now, but it was in a really, really positive way, so yeah. What character do you find more difficult to play? Well, I guess for Indigo, that would be the more serious characters. She can be very serious when needed, and she definitely has a dominant part to her personality, but it doesn't come as easily as someone who would be more less serious and have more of a submissive side. But I think through her channel she's gotten better at that, which is really cool. And of course, characters that require a lot of makeup can be a bit tricky, but she does really like getting in costume and her makeup and things like that, so yeah. Will you play the Lycan cheerleader again? Well, she hasn't answered this for me, but I mean, werewolves are fascinating, I guess, from a scientific standpoint, but I don't know what people like about them so much. They just smell like wet dog, and they're pretty rude, and they're really dangerous, and they just kind of live in the woods, and vampires are much better. Okay, so advice for people who are nervous to make their first ASMR video. Well, it's funny that you asked, because this is kind of my first ASMR video, sorta, so I'm pretty nervous, but sometimes when you want to do something that makes you quite nervous, or you're afraid that you might not do well enough, then sometimes you just kind of gotta do it anyway. Because oftentimes, if you look back on things that you did before that you were really worried about or nervous about, and if you then look at how it turned out, oftentimes it turned out pretty well. So you probably don't have to worry so much about it, but there are things you can do to get more prepared. You gotta feel comfortable with your equipment. You don't have to get like a fancy camera right off the bat. Something like a phone can be pretty awesome for starting out, which is what Indigo did. But just make sure you get comfortable with it, with using it, and know its limits and how you can get the optimal quality from it. And it's really gonna be okay. It's once you get into it, it's not as scary as you think it could be. And the community is really nice. Everyone is really nice, and just do it. Seriously, if you want to make a video, just do it. And show me too. I'll watch it. Okay. Okay, so this person is visiting Holland, and they're asking how to not stand out terribly. Well, the great thing about Holland is that people, on average, they're not really concerned with other people. Most are just interested in how others perceive them, and not as much about how they perceive others. Yeah. So if you're walking down the street, chances are that nobody's really going to pay attention to you unless you're really rowdy. Dutch people don't really like rowdy people. They're pretty reserved, and they think that you should just be normal and not be weird, which I don't really agree with, and Indigo doesn't really agree with, but yeah, just don't make a scene, don't be loud. It's okay to ask questions though, and people are mostly very helpful because most of the population speaks English, of course, so I think you're gonna have a wonderful time though, so don't worry about it too much. Also, don't wear orange just because you're in Holland. It's something we only really do on some certain days, so like holidays. And they also wanted to know things there are to see in Amsterdam and Holland. Well, you could check out the local chantry. We don't let in any visitors, but the outside's really pretty if you can find it. And of course you have Celine's Club, Perus. Well, it's got static really, but it's easier for me in Dutch because I'm so used to it. And then you also have Maria's Tower, and I'm not sure how helpful that is for a non-kindred though. Well, okay, let's see. Well, there's one thing that I I really like in Holland in general, and that's their museums. There are a lot of museums, and they're all very, very good, depending on what you like, of course. If you find yourself in Haarlem, I really like the Tyler Museum and the Van Zals Museum, which are art and history museums. And you also have an archaeological museum in Haarlem, which is really awesome. And then in Amsterdam, you have so many museums, really. But you also have the Anne Frank House, which, if you're interested in history, I would recommend going there for sure. And there's also one which might be a little bit strange, and if you're going on holiday with your parents, you might not want to go there, but there is a sex museum in Amsterdam, and well, I swear it's really informative, and it's not to get, but it's really informative, and there's a lot of historical stuff. I hope that helps. Okay, so the last question is pirates or ninjas? I gotta say pirates. I'm not sure why I think they're awesome. They just are. Okay, that's enough embarrassment. Okay. And so next up are the shoutouts, and I'm going to do them ear to ear. First off, I really want to thank everyone so much that supported. It means the absolute world to me. And I love you all very, very much for it. So thank you. Now, the first one on my list is Nico. Sebastian, John Y, Frogman Savage, and another John who hasn't listed his last name, Nathan, Leighton, Josh, Chris, Midnight, Sierra. I hope I'm pronouncing all of these right. If I'm not, then I'm really sorry. Feel free to tell me. People Bastard 87, James, Lawrence, Randall, Cassandra, Kevin, so very much for the support. I'm so honored that you guys think that I'm worthy of all that. It means very much to me. And we also have some more shoutouts that'll appear on the screen, and I guess I gotta go to the side a little bit so I can show them. Okay, so is that okay? Okay. So thank you all so very much. Okay. So sure it's okay if I just bite you? Don't worry, I'll be gentle. Maybe the other side too. I hope you like that. Okay. Next, you guys really wanted to see some tongue clicking. And I'm no Alicia, but She's kind of scary. But I can try.
Nai Kapiash Nitokoa Eashpanaki Kijuanaki Alakreono Eashianakia Aelakishwanakatia